So Jennifer, what about 2020? Do you have any reflections on the big pause?
The great pause of 2020 has really been an interesting time. I think for myself and a lot of my colleagues around the world, it's been a time to reflect, a time to recognize what's really important in life. What have we missed? What have we not missed during the changes that we've all gone through? And interestingly, without the, call it distractions of travel, conferences, meetings, I have really gone inside to think a lot more about really my purpose, what I enjoy the most, and how do I spend my time to achieve that level of purpose using what I enjoy.
So I can tell a little bit more about IKIGAI, since it's a very systematically way of finding that sort of a core in yourself purpose. So basically it's four, if you look at it as a model, it's four circles, and these are intertwined. And they consist of, firstly, what you love to do. And Steve Jobs, as you mentioned, he said that your work is going to fill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. So if you haven't found if you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle.
It's a very good point.
Yeah, so what you love. So you need to start by thinking, what do you really love to do? Second, what you're really good at. So people talk about this 10,000 hour rule. It's a little bit repudiated, but you need to start, if you're really good at something, that's what you repeatedly do. So it's Aristotle, he said that excellence is not an act, it's a habit. So if you are good at something, it becomes your habit. It becomes, if you want to be really good, excellent in anything, it's habitual. The third circle in Ikigai is what the world needs. So the Japanese, they talk about, it's a misunderstanding that Toyota is, the pillars are continual improvement and respect for the individual. It's actually respect for humanity. So this is really important in Japan. This what the world needs, what your society needs, what your family needs, what your company needs. That's what you need to figuring out. How can you create value? And the third one is, the fourth one is what can you be paid for? Because you need to live, you need to have money to pay for your bills, you need to have some kind of income. And a lot of people think if you have your passion and sort of pursue your passion, that's sufficient. But, if you pursue it long enough, maybe the profit and the benefits will come in. But it's, you need to think through what I really love to do, what I'm really good at, what the world needs. Is someone willing to pay me for it?
So that's very interesting, that idea of incorporating your passion and what you're good at with your job. Because I know for myself that's something I've always tried to do, even though I know a number of people that have their activities and what they love, but their day job.
But you spend so much time in your day job. If you don't love it, if your passion is somewhere else, I mean, those hours must be so long.
That's exactly. In fact, it reminds me of a gentleman that I worked with, probably 7-8 years ago. My company, Next Step, was engaged by a large tech company in San Jose to help them transform the business. And the leadership of the company came to me after a few months saying, one of our biggest concerns is how do we really empower and engage our managers to drive this change within their teams. And they identified a few people that seemed to be not misaligned, but they just weren't 100% there. They might be performing well, but the passion was not there. And so I worked with a few of them, and one in particular, Bob, stands out to me because he was well loved by all of his team members, had great performance reviews, great leader of engineering, but was the kind of guy that everyone referred to as always happy to leave the building on Friday afternoons and always dragging himself back in on Monday morning.
Oh, so sad.
And it was really clear that there was something just not connecting. And as I got further into coaching with Bob, what I discovered was on the weekends, he was actually spending most of his time at the local university working with and coaching and mentoring students and graduates in science.
Ah,
Because he loved science and he felt that his passion and his mission was helping the young generation scientists.
I see where you're going. He needed to rethink his profession because his passion was somewhere else.
Exactly.
And that's the thing with Ikigai. As I said, it's intertwined. So the combination of what you love and what you're good at, that's your passion.
Yes.
And the combination of what you love with what the world needs, that's your mission.
Mm-hmm.
That's your task in life.
Yes.
If you combine what the world needs with what you can be paid for, that's your vocation. That's your calling in life. And then with the thing that you are good at,
Mm-hmm.
with your what you can be paid for, that's your profession. That's your work. So
Interesting.
you're good at this, you have all the right
Yes.
capabilities, and your CV is correct, and here's a job. That's your
Right.
profession. But if these are not connected, if your passion is one place and your profession is another place,
Yes.
and they're not connected, then that's not your Ikigai. So
That's exactly what was the case with Bob. And,
Mm-hmm.
and the good part of that story is through helping him identify how he gets his real energy and his passion at working with young people, we were able to restructure some of his role in this company so that he became a trainer and a coach.
you can feel
for
his
college
passion,
graduates.
and that became his profession.
Well, it did, and the way this ultimately evolved was for a couple of years, he was more engaged at work, but he was still missing that science.
Mm.
And the really good news is I got a phone call about 2 years along the way from him saying the company had offered him an early retirement,
Okay.
which he happily took. Last December, I ran into Bob at an event. And I was shocked, Cecil, because he looked at least 5 to 10 years younger. He was happy. And as I was
Getting
talking
goosebumps.
with him,
Yeah.
he explained that once he'd taken the early retirement, he talked to the people at the university. He's now a teacher's aide.
Mm.
He's now getting work as a commissioned publisher around some of the scientific evidence. And he's working with graduates,
Which he loves.
which he loves. And he's making almost as much money.
Yeah. Because
As
he
he
has gets
did-
his retirement plus the teacher's aid or
Exactly.
payment. So he's getting paid. The world needs it. He loves it.
Yes.
And he's really good at it. So he
Yes.
found his Ikigai. And it's this combination of passion, mission, profession, and vocation. That more than anything is sort of the golden nuggets
Yes.
you're looking for here. So yeah. This is great. But Jennifer, have you found your Ikigai?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I believe that I have, in that I would say my passion is really helping people, making a difference in the world.
Mm.
I believe my skills are facilitating or bringing people together as a community, leading change and helping people to feel comfortable in changing. And so in that way, my profession in consulting,
Mhm.
my vocation that I feel in bringing people together in community to work together for change, I feel potentially is my Ikigai.
Mm.